Well, if we're gonna find any ghosts, we better split up.
You're listening to Never Split Up, a horror movie podcast.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Never Split Up podcast. This is episode 46. My name's Nolan. This is along with Anthony, and today we are covering Black Christmas, released in 2006. What's going on, Ant? This is our second Christmas movie of the year we're covering. How you doing?
I'm doing good. We're getting so close to the big day, Christmas Day. It's flying by.
Yes, by the time we release this episode, this will be actually our last episode before Christmas, so we definitely want to squeeze in this episode. We just recorded P2, and that would have been released the week prior, so everybody check out that episode. We had a fun time reviewing one of your faves, one of your Christmas faves, P2. But yeah, now we're on to Black Christmas. As I mentioned in the episode prior, we covered the original Black Christmas, our first year as a podcast, our first Christmas, and that was a lot of fun. So we figure, what the hell, why not? Let's do the remake, the 2006 remake, of course. And yeah, this should be a lot of fun too. We're both, this is, we talk about it all the time, sweet spot for us, early 2000s, because we grew up in the 90s, 90s kids, early 2000s kids. So this was a biggie in terms of like the cast. It had a lot of it girls at the time. And yeah, this was a very divisive remake. I feel like there's some people that don't like it at all. There's some people that like it. I think this got kind of like a cult following in the years to come. Much like a lot of the early 2000s horror, I feel like a lot of that era is getting like a, reawakening, if you will. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. How about you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think this one is a lot more appreciated these days after the 2019 movie came out. So it's getting a reevaluation for sure.
Yeah. That's definitely true, for sure. But I don't think we have many announcements. We can announce the winner of the It Follows poll. That was you, Anthony. You won the Never Split Up poll for It Follows. So we'll let you pick who goes first for the moment, and then I guess the review or whatever. So we'll do that towards the end of the episode. Other than that, I think we're good, correct? We can just get right into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, cool. Let's get over the synopsis and all that jazz. You can go over that.
Okay.
Cast and crew.
Perfect. So like Nolan said, this is a remake of the OG 1974 classic. The synopsis is: on Christmas Eve, an escaped maniac returns to his childhood home, which is now a sorority house, and begins to murder the sorority sisters one by one. It was directed by Glenn Morgan, and it was actually produced by Bob Clark, who directed the original. He also directed A Christmas Story, so that's very funny that he directed these two horror classics, but there very different from one another. And this cast, dude, the cast is just iconic in this movie. My girls are in this movie. So it stars the lovely Katie Cassidy as Kelly, and she is a little bit of a remake horror icon. She was in When a Stranger Calls remake. She was in Nightmare on Elm Street remake. She was in a really good Mr. Horror show, Harper's Island. She was in a little bit of Supernatural. Like, what a horror queen. Like, bring her back to horror. We have Michelle Trachtenberg, who is obviously Dawn Summers from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Fucking love her. We have Lacey Chabert. She's a Christmas icon. I know she does all like the Hallmark shit now, but we know her from Mean Girls, and she actually voiced Eliza Thornberry in The Wild Thornberry, so I love her. We have another horror icon, Mary Elizabeth fucking Winstead is in this movie. From Final Destination 3, she's in Grindhouse, Death Proof, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, The Thing remake, The Ring 2. I mean, whoa, fucking love her.
Yep.
We have Crystal Lowe, who she was also in Final Destination 3, and she was in Wrong Turn 2, Dead End. I mean, damn. We have Kristen Cloak, who's the sister of, what's the girl's name? I think she's the sister of Claire. That's her name. And she was in the OG Final Destination. And we have Andrea Martin, who played Phil in the original Black Christmas. Whoa. this fucking cast, man. I mean, it's literally my cast from 2000s. It's amazing. But yeah, that's the cast. It's a big cast. It's a fun movie. It has a completely different vibe from the original, but that's why I love it, because I watched them back to back and they're just completely different tones. And yeah, this is a fun remake.
Awesome. Yeah. Super fun, again, especially for guys our age, going back and watching these. I had crushes on so many of these actresses growing up, so having them all in the same movie is just like, it still blows me away. So yeah, super fun. It's fun to, you say you like to watch them back to back. I don't know if I've ever specifically done that, like in the same night or whatever, or even the same, back to back nights, but it's fun to compare the two, because they are such a, the original Black Christmas we've talked about, it was kind of ahead of its time because it was such a pioneer to find a whole genre pretty much. But this one is such a time capsule, it's such it just is frozen in that early 2000s, and not in a bad way. It's just like everything you think of when you think of an early 2000s slasher, right from the cast, everything down to the tone and everything is just like, if you had to recommend for someone to watch an early 2000s slasher to really get the vibe of what they are, I would recommend this movie, because it's just it's just a time capsule, like I said. So it's fun to compare the two. And I appreciate the different tone as well. I guess we'll get into our initial thoughts. I'll go first. I do appreciate the different tone. I don't like when remakes, especially remakes of iconic movies that already get it so right, try to just, the one that comes to mind is Psycho, the Psycho remake, how it's just shot for shot the same movie. I just don't like that. It's like, what's the point at that point? It's literally a cash grab at that point. So I do like the different tone. I don't think this is a perfect movie, and nobody's pretending it's a perfect movie. I do think I do have some issues with it though, that we can get into, that prevents me from liking it more. But like you said, it's a fun time. We both love slashers. It's hard not to just smile at this movie, at some of the kills and stuff. I think it does some things really cool. I actually like the flashback sequences. I think those are super creepy and super well done, and it's kind of that grimy, almost like Rob Zombie style, like those flashback sequences with, like, the trashy family and stuff. I like that, and I think it works for this tone of the movie. And yeah, it's just fun. It has good performances throughout. The only performance I didn't really care for was the boyfriend. I think his name's Kyle.
Oliver Hudson.
Yeah, Oliver Hudson. That character
That's Kate Hudson's brother. Yeah.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Yeah. I've seen him in other stuff. He's definitely a familiar face. I didn't know that was her brother. But he's kind of I didn't like his character in the movie. It was kind of obvious what they were trying to do. Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, let's just get this guy out of here. That's one of my gripes. That's one of my nitpicks, that he lasts way too long in the movie. I think he should have been killed off way sooner, but we'll get into that.
Gotta have a red herring there a little bit.
Yeah, it was such an obvious. It's so like, okay, we get it. Like, come on. Yeah, I know. But it would be a recommend for me if you enjoy early 2000s slashers. If that's not really what you jive with, then you're probably not going to like this movie. But if you like it, I think it's one of the better ones for sure.
Cool. This movie is so special to me. I saw it back the day after Christmas. My family used to have a tradition where we would go to the movies every year the day after Christmas, and I was like, we are going to see Black Christmas the day after Christmas this year. And my mom was a trooper, like wasn't playing like super local, so we had to drive like, I think it was like 40 minutes up to Homedale, if you guys know where we're from. But she took us to go see it, and it was a friggin' blast. This movie is a gory, cheesy, Christmas in your face blast. I love it so much. I really appreciate that we have the original that's very like slow burn and spine tingling and just unsettling. And then we have this remake, which does the complete opposite, and it's just full on blood, gore, in your face, cheesy Christmas fun. I mean, a guy kills someone with a candy cane. I mean, how can you not like a movie where a killer kills someone and then takes a cookie cutter and makes cookies out of someone's skin and puts it in the oven and then eats the cookies? This movie's fucking awesome, man. It's fucking awesome. It has I think it definitely has more Christmas vibes in the original. Like there's Christmas, like the friggin' productions on this movie is awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I definitely agree. Yep.
It's the best. I think the original and this are the best Christmas slashers. And I appreciate them both so much. And I do a double feature because they're both so different, but they both work for me with the tone they're trying to accomplish. The original is just dark and mean and unsettling. And this one is over the top 2000s, violent, bloody fun with a bunch of hot girls running around. You have a good final girl, and it's just fun. This movie is fun. It has disturbing scenes where you're like, ew, but it's also so over the top where you're just kind of laughing at it. And the movie knows it's in on it. It went for that vibe. It wasn't trying to be the original because you can never be the original. And it succeeded way more than whatever the fuck that trash 2019 movie was trying to do. That shouldn't even have the name of Black Christmas attached to it. Yeah, I'm in love with this movie so much. We're 2000s guys, so obviously the cast is iconic. I just love that. And this one, they chose to give us, you mentioned a little bit of the backstory, which I usually don't like. But it's just so fucking like wild and insane, the backstory. I actually appreciate that they took that route because, again, that separates it and differentiates it from the original, where you have the original, like, I don't know what's going on, kind of like the OG Halloween. You're like, oh, I don't know why Michael Myers is doing that. You don't know who Billy is or what's going on. The ending's open-ended. I love that so much. It's a classic for a reason. But this one, you get that fucked up story, and it works for me because it's just so fucking wacky. It's insane. And the way they like sprinkle it in throughout the runtime, I think is also very smart because you only get like a couple minute segment here, then a couple minute segment there, then you like get the climax of, the past. And I think they really spaced that out well. I mean, yeah, it has great death scenes, awesome death scenes. My only nitpick is I could have used this is also a Weinstein movie, so they definitely like fucked with the filmmakers and they butchered it and made them film a couple different scenes. And there's some scenes in the trailer, if you guys were around when this movie was coming out, there's a lot of scenes in the trailer that don't make it into the final cut. And there's a couple of scenes that looked pretty cool, that looked like they could have been a really good like chase scene in the snow. Like there's a couple of scenes with Lacey Chabert where she's like almost caught on Christmas lights and being dragged. Obviously that's not in the movie, but that would have been cool to see. And you got Michelle Trachtenberg saying like "Merry Christmas, motherfucker" with a shotgun in the trailer. I would have loved to see that. But other than that, like I wanted a couple more chase scenes, and I think the final hospital sequence isn't as strong as the stuff at the house. But again, I'm nitpicking. This is a campy, cheesy blast, and I'm absolutely in love with it, and I'm so thankful for it. It gives me the Christmas vibes mixed with horror slasher, and that's what I want in my Christmas movie. I love it so much.
I knew this would be right up your alley. This is like your sweet, sweet, sweet spot, early 2000s campy slasher holiday favorite. So, okay, so recommend from you, so 100%.
High recommend. And I do recommend the double feature. You should try it too, because they work so well together, because same kind of like concept story, but so different. So you're not watching the same movie twice, but you're getting two bangers.
Yeah. No, the more I thought about it, last year when we covered the original Black Christmas, I did end up watching this one shortly after with Jackie, because I know she likes this movie a lot. So she watched the original with me for the first time, and then we decided to watch the 2006 version probably a couple days later. So, but I'll have to do the double feature one sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe this Christmas. So, okay. So let's get into it. Sounds like we both like this movie. You really liking this movie?
I love it. I love it.
Let's get into the opening sequence. What do you think? How do you think of the way it starts off? The whole opening sequence and introducing the characters.
I think it's great, man. I think you get like I said, you instantly get that. You get an opening kill, which I always love in my horror movies, and you get the the decorations outside. You can see how much care they put in to the vibe and the production design. Like, this is a Christmas movie. We're making it fucking Christmas. I love it. I really like the opening kill. It's pretty intense. Once she's in that room writing that card to her sister, and she's gonna get killed in the opening scene. But I think it's a good nice jolt and introduction to the kind of vibe we're gonna get to the movie with that kill. This isn't the OG where it's like all suspense and no blood. This is like, she's going to get stabbed in the fucking eye, and we're going to cut to black and put Black Christmas title card on the screen. I love it.
Yeah, I like it too. I don't remember her name. The opening.
Claire.
Claire, that's right. Yeah, it is Claire that dies. But yeah, I mean, once you get this kill, especially if you watch this movie back, like if maybe you haven't seen this movie and the era it's in, once you see this opening kill, it's like, okay, this is exactly the type of movie that I'm expecting. So you can kind of take it from there. But no, I like the opening. I like you said, the themes and the decorations and the set design in the beginning of this movie is so strong. I think it is stronger than the original. The original has a different like wintry vibe, which I love, but this one really targets in on that Christmas vibe, and it's so well done. There's just something about it. It's really well done. So I would say it nails it. That's one of the few things it does straight up better than the original.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the original works with like, it's kind of like the dark and like gloomy, which it works for that. But this one just takes advantage of the holiday and it succeeds in that because that's the vibe of the movie it's going for.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that in the opening scene, you do have the homage to the original where Claire in the original, she actually gets killed in the closet with the bag wrapped around her. This one, opening, Claire goes to the closet and she thinks someone's behind there, but nothing's there. And then she comes out of under the bed and then that's how she gets killed. So again, the homages are not like in your face, like obvious, but they're cool. They're a little clever here and there. Obviously, the bags throughout the movie are the homage too.
I do think they go a little overboard with the homages, if you call them. They do like a lot of the eye peephole stuff throughout the movie. I mean, I think that's a little overdone.
It's so cheesy. I love it.
It's cheesy, but it's like, okay, guys, we get it. Like you're taking it from the original. They do the rocking chair at the very beginning, right? That's yes. Her at the beginning, so that's an obvious throwback. I don't mind it so much, but it does kind of get a little, how many times does he get someone with the bag? I mean, it's like 3 or 4 different people.
I love it because in this one it's just like he's like bagging them and then fucking stabbing their eyes and taking them out and shit. I love it.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't or I should say he or she. Yeah, because that's that's obviously spoilers ahead, but that's kind of the quote unquote big twist. It's not really a twist if you are moviegoers like me and you, but
or even if you're just watching the timeline of the movie play out.
Yeah,
it wouldn't make sense, really.
They make it pretty obvious. I don't know if maybe they could have done a better job of that. It almost would have been better if they played it up as if it was the sister, and then the twist would be that timeline was a flashback and it really was what's his name? It really was the brother. So Billy, the father / brother. But yeah, that was not a twist. That was pretty obvious, like from the get-go.
It was cool. It was fun.
Yeah,
I love a good tag team killer duo.
Yeah, it was.
The other homage I really only think of is when he's like actually arriving to the house. You have a little bit of the POV like you do in the original when he's walking up to the house for like a couple seconds. They don't overdo it. Again, because it's not trying to be a slow-paced movie. This movie is boom, 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 pedal to the metal. Let's get going. And
I do like the, just comparing it to the original, I do like the different take on, you really see the villain, we'll just call him the villain for now, going through the house almost, like in the walls and, the peephole in the shower and stuff. It adds a different layer. That the original didn't have. The original, you know that he's in the house with them the whole time, but you don't get that those shots where you can really see him stalking them, like in each and every room. You just think he's kind of hanging up in the attic most of the time. So I like that angle that they do, that he's kind of just like in every room and he has like these secret tunnels and walls throughout the house. I thought that was pretty cool.
Going through the crawl spaces and shit. Yeah, it's cool. It's so campy. I love it.
Yeah.
So stupid, but it's so good.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, we get introduced to our cast too, and we rattled off their names, but damn, what a crew! And they're all like bitches, but I love them. I fucking love them all.
Yeah,
I would say Kelly is the least bitchy, but like the other ones, like they're assholes. But you know what? I'm like, I fucking love you guys. Like, I don't care. I'm rooting for you.
You could tell that they're like. They have an edge to them, but they do care about each other in like a sisterly way.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know they're sorority sisters, but like almost in like a real family setting as well. Like they're assholes to each other, but they do care about each other.
Yeah.
I think it's played well. I think it's not over the top. You definitely still root for them and you still care for them, but they do have that kind of edge to them, and it's I think it makes it a little authentic. I actually like it.
For sure.
Andrea Martin, man. Playing Barbara, playing the house mother. She is awesome. She is awesome, dude. She's
Love her.
great in this. I love that they got her to return. She's one of the highlights
Yeah.
for me. She's one of the standouts, I think. The sister who plays the mysterious sister.
Lee. Her character's name is Lee. She's
Is
the
it
one
Lee?
who was in the. Yeah, she was the teacher in the OG Final Destination. Kristen Cloak. She plays the sister.
Yes.
Who comes to pick up Claire. Yeah.
Yeah, not crazy about her either.
Oh, really? I kind of liked her.
She was fine. She was fine. I think the reason I don't like her is because she survives longer than a lot of the other sisters. So this is the main, I would say,
Yeah,
gripe I
she's the
have with
last
the
one to
movie.
get killed.
It's Kelly, Lee, and Kyle are the last three survivors at the end of the movie.
Yes.
And I don't think that's a good final three. I think it should have been Kelly with like two of her other sisters. And I think Kyle.
Which two?
Pick. I mean, you got the four main cast, right? Or really the five, including Lauren. I love Michelle Trachtenberg and I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. So just seeing them three at the end would have been cool for my heart. But any one of them, I think it would have played better to have like three of the sisters rally together at the end instead of the weird boyfriend and then the random sister, Lee. I just don't like that dynamic at the end. I don't know how you feel about that.
Okay. I kind of had a feeling that Lee was going to be like the final girl duo with Kelly the first time I saw it, because she was like the throwback to the dad in the OG. She was coming to pick up her sister. He was coming to get the daughter. And you can tell she had she was down for business. She wasn't drinking and partying it up. She was ready to go and find her sister. I really like her, but I would have chose Kelly and then Dana. Lacey Chabert.
Yeah.
I was really upset that she gets killed so early. I get so upset every time. And then Michelle Trachtenberg. I fucking love her.
I know.
But she actually said she would only do this movie if she got killed off, because everyone expected her to live because if she was in Buffy and all that. So I was like, damn it, girl, you would have been a badass final girl too.
Kill her off, but I think she would have been cool if she made it a little bit further, like with Kelly. Maybe instead of Kyle or something. Yeah, for sure. No, I love all of them. Dana too.
Me too.
I love all of them. They were all so well. So
yeah, Heather's Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's gets the investigations going a little bit when she goes to find those newspapers upstairs.
Oh yeah, that's
so
right.
Funny. I love her too. She's so good.
So
I even love the drunk.
Sorry, go ahead. No,
Lauren. I love Lauren too. The drunk. She's fucking.
Oh yeah,
hilarious.
she's great. Her whole scene is awesome when she's super drunk in the shower and stuff. Like that's creepy. It's creepy as hell, man. Yeah.
He pushes up the tile.
Yeah. Well, you see her kick up a tile, and you're like, what the fuck is going on there? And then you see...
and she just fucking throws it, like she throws it back when she's getting in the shower. So good. Do you want to get the flashback, do that whole thing in, one piece first, so we can get that out of the way, and then just go through the rest of the movie? Just, talk about everything in the flashback at once.
Yeah.
Let's do that, because that's obviously important to this movie, because it's not in the original.
Yeah.
So, I think it takes place in, 1970, when Billy's born. And he has jaundice because he has liver disease. So he's discolored a little bit. And his mom is a fucking psycho bitch. She literally just abuses him instantly. So she's cheating on the dad too. And I think it's they go 5 years ahead in the future. And her lover kill his dad, and he watches it. So wonder why he's all fucked up. And his dad was so nice. He's giving him presents and shit, because the mom won't even give him a present for Christmas.
Yeah.
And the dad's brutally murdered and then buried under the floor in the house. That's obviously gonna fuck someone up. And then it even gets worse. They flash forward again, and the mom, I think her name is Constance, she's having sex with her lover on the steps, and he falls asleep because he's a drunk. And then she goes and rapes her son and then gets impregnated by him. Oh, that's what I was my mom was what the fuck did I take you two kids to watch the day after Christmas? I'm sorry, mom. Sorry.
Yeah.
But then, baby Agnes is born, and it's not only Billy's sister, but it's Billy's daughter. How fucked up. I thought it was twisted. I'm wow, they're going there, and I kind of love it that this is in a fucking Christmas horror movie right now. But then we flash forward again, and then Billy, I think early 90s at this point, he is kept in the attic. And he escapes one Christmas, and the mom and the lover, they're oh, where's Billy? And then they find him downstairs next to the Christmas tree, disfiguring Agnes and pulling out her eye and eating her eye. And then he kills the lover. He stabs him with I think it's a Christmas decoration through the eye. And then this is the best. He strangles the mom and he like beats her to death with like a cookie roller. And then he makes Christmas cookies out of her body and puts them in the oven and eats them as the police arrive. I fucking was like, again, holy shit, so awesome. And then Agnes is taken away to an orphanage. And that's pretty much Billy's taken away to the asylum, and Agnes is taken away to an orphanage. And we don't know. Then we cut back to present day, and obviously everything's playing out. But I really like the flashback stuff. Again, I mean, you don't get many movies that someone makes cookies out of someone's skin, and that's so Christmas. I love when the Christmas music is playing in the background when he's making them. It's so over the top, but it's so awesome. It's like demented in the right kind of way. I love the flashback stuff. It's so twisted.
I love what they do, how they go there as well, you know, with all those scenes that you just talked about. But more importantly, what really makes the flashbacks work for me is just how creepy they are. And I think the mom, I don't know who plays the mom, but she does, I think it's Karen Conoval.
Yeah.
She does a really good job of just playing a demented, twisted
You hate her
mother
instantly.
who can't stand and resents her son. Like, it's so fucked up, man. I mean, kills the husband who is the only one who really cares about Billy. It's like, just drop your son off at the police station or something if you don't want him. Like, I understand.
Give him up.
Like, yeah, give him up. But she really, her and some of the cinematography and the shots in those flashbacks really give you that just disgusting vibe, even before they show some of those.
Oh, dude, she
graphic
breaks the
scenes.
ornament on him as a baby. She like takes an ornament and breaks it, and he's like a baby, like a newborn. She like sprinkles the broken glass in his fucking his baby crib. I'm like, damn, girl.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I don't think they did very well, and I don't know if this was set issues or something, his skin looks a different color in almost every shot. There's certain shots where it's hilarious. Like super yellow, and then there's other shots where he looks almost normal, and I laugh every time.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know if that condition like comes and goes, so like I can defend it in that way, but I think it's just stupid and fun that it's like ridiculous that he has a skin condition.
Yeah. It's like, why, like, I don't even know why it's in the movie. Like, it's not consequential at all to the plot. It makes no sense. Like, are they just trying to say the only reason she hates Billy is because of that condition? Like, if you didn't have the condition... I think it might be like another
reason why she's saying, he's like a bastard child. Like, just another thing to add to the list of why, he's not worthy.
Well, she makes the comment that he looks just like the husband, right, and she hates the husband, so I think she kind of resents Billy for that. But then, not too much, because then when she's drunk, she goes upstairs to...
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I know.
That is so disturbing, that scene.
Yeah.
And you knew when she looked up what she was going to do. I'm like, oh, no.
They left nothing to the imagination as to why Billy and Agnes are both super fucked up as adults. I mean, they really showed you what the fuck was going on with them to where they would be psychopathic murderers. I wanted to talk about the prison scenes and the escape of Billy. How did you like those? I thought it was it was a good break from the house. It kind of, like you said, they sprinkled them in throughout the movie almost. It didn't just happen all in one sequence.
Yeah, I like it too. I like when the guard is there and then the guy, like, I guess the employee's like bringing the food and he goes to the guard, he's like, it's chicken because it tastes like chicken, because it's like the closest to his mom, how his mom tastes it. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But then he has a candy cane somehow, and that's what he uses to kill the security guard. Stabs him in the neck, and then he dresses up as Santa. And he ends up killing that guy too. It's so stupid, but I like it. Again, the Christmas lights in the asylum are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. And he throws the guy in his, he has the Santa bag and he throws him in the dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, no, me too. That's really the last time you see Billy too, before the very end of the movie in the attic. I believe.
Before like the third act kicks into high gear.
Yeah, you kind of don't know where he is the whole time, so...
Yeah, my favorite stuff is everything going on at the house with the sorority sisters, obviously. Mm-hmm. That's just the best setting.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But the order of the kills sometimes it gets to me. I'm like, come on, my girl Dana gets done dirty.
Mm-hmm.
But so after Claire's killed in the opening, then we get Megan, who's actually, we should bring up Kyle. You're the one who brought up Kyle. He's dating Kelly, Katie Cassidy, but he's obviously an asshole because this girl Megan, we see like towards the opening of the movie, she's watching on her laptop she's found a video that he videotaped her without her knowing, without her consent, of them sleeping together. So that girl Megan's super pissed, and she's like not part of the crew downstairs. And she hears something in the attic, and then she's the next step. She goes up and she finds Claire's body, and then she's also, bagged, and she gets her eyes ripped out, stabbed. So she's a second death. But yeah, Kyle is a douchebag. And then the whole lead up is when Kelly finds out about Kyle, and he gets thrown out, and he's kind of like a red herring because we don't see him until again towards the third act. Yeah, what a douchebag. What a douchebag.
Like you were saying, this villain really doesn't hold back. Every time a character is kind of on their own and hears something or, sees something in the corner of their eye, like they die. It's pretty much, there is no fake outs where they get creeped out and then everything's normal. It's pretty much balls to the wall with each character. So
I agree. Something we talked about, we said the Christmas vibes in this movie are way superior to the original. Something that's superior in the original to this movie is obviously the phone calls. The phone calls are nowhere near as effective in this movie, and I get it. It's because they want to get right to the action, the set pieces. The original was not about the set pieces. It was about the disturbing. That was literally the whole original, these disturbing phone calls, which really got under my skin. The ones in this one is like they're generic phone calls, like, pretty much. There's nothing near as graphic as the original. But again, that's not the point of this one. That's another homage to the OG with the calls. They just want to get to the kills. But yeah, that's one thing I will say the OG like knocked out of the park, and this one was just like, all right, that was a creepy little phone call, but nowhere near as effective.
Yeah. The original sounds way more demented. This one with these phone calls, you can make out everything he's saying, which you can't really make out some of the things he's saying, and which makes it so creepy. And two, he's making sense on the phone. And the reason it works so well in the original is he's not making any sense, even for the viewer that knows more than the characters know. That's why it's so creepy. I almost wish they kind of just left it out. It seems like they just threw it in just because they had to. Because if they're gonna do it, go all in and kind of make it super nonsensical, but they didn't go that route. But it's fine. It doesn't take up. No, I think there was just 2 phone calls.
Quick.
And then, well, no, there was actually more because he starts calling from the cell phones, and I thought that was an interesting angle because we start to get the calls from the cell phones of the victims. So there was a couple different calls from different victims.
Coming from Claire's cell, coming from Dana's cell. That was cool. That was a cool added thing.
Yeah.
So I think after the Megan kill, that's when Lee arrives looking for Claire, and then the power goes out. So they send fucking Dana, my girl, out to the crawl space to turn the power back on. I'm like, oh no, I don't want her to die yet. But Dana goes out to the breaker under the house. I mean, she's a trooper. She's like a high maintenance girl, and she's down to do it. So she goes out, and then I love how she's like kneels down. She's like, Eve, you crazy bitch, I can see your breath. And she just gets dragged in, and she puts up a little bit of a fight, but yeah, Lacey Chabert, she doesn't have that big of a role. Kind of bummed me out the first time I saw it. I was like, no, I wanted her to stick around a little bit, but cool death under the crawl space.
Yeah, no.
Why would you go under that crawl space though after the power is out? Come on, girl. Come on now. Never split up.
I know. Right someone should have went with her. I agree for sure. Yeah. Definitely died too.
But also, they sent her out alone, so it's not all like bitches, like your sisters. Go up there. It's freezing. Like, help her out. Help a girl out.
So who is it that she's with? Was it the?
Well, Lee actually sends her out. The one looking for Claire. She's like, why don't you do it? She's like, you do it. And then she's like, fine, fuck it.
Yeah.
I hate that she dies so soon. I love her.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool scene. Yeah. It's so annoying. But so they realize obviously that Dana's gone and she's not around. So then this is a cool, it all builds up pretty much. And we didn't mention this girl Eve. She's like this creepy, kind of weird girl who isn't part of the party, but she comes downstairs, says hi. We're kind of led to believe that she could maybe be Agnes the way the flashbacks are kind of intertwined, that it could be Agnes. But she pretty much gives Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character, she got her as Secret Santa or whatever. She gives her a gift. And it's a creepy doll with the eyes missing. But then she leaves because she's going to drive home. And when they go out to look for Dana, they see Eve's car. And then Heather, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, they go up. She's like, what is she doing? It's in her car. It's 0 degrees out. And they open the car and her head falls out. Which, again, it's fucking awesome. So they know that there's a murderer when someone's head falls out of the fucking car. and they see Dana's like scratch marks on the crawl space door. So like, oh shit, this is no good. Yeah, I love that when shit hits the fan after that, it just goes pedal to the metal. So they run back in the house, and they obviously know something's happening. Of course, there's a blizzard, so they call like campus security and the cops. So like, as soon as someone can get there, it's 4 hours. I'm like, good luck, girls. You guys are done. But yeah, it's fun. It's I love this set piece. Like from now on, every single set piece is awesome.
I like the conundrum that they put in too. So half the group wants to leave and drive to the police station, and the other half is like, no, we should stay together. Do not split up, and let's stay in the house.
Right, like grab something and get ready to fight. But Miss Mac and Heather are like, no, fuck this, we're leaving. Let's get in the
I
car
don't
and
know,
go.
man. I don't know what the right call is. I mean, what I would do.
I get Lee's point
situation.
because her sister's Claire, and like as far as she knows, she's missing. She says like she's missing, not dead. When they call the cops, I get that. Like if that was my sister, I'm not gonna leave. I don't know where she is. But again, Miss Mac and Heather, like, you know, fuck this, we out, peace out. Like we're trying to get out of here. And then you get Kelly's close up line. You know, we're sisters. Act like it. I love that so cheesy. And then Heather's like, okay, get your coat, let's go.
I don't know if I don't know. It's easy for me to say, like, yeah, I would stay and help, but I don't know if I would be a hero in that situation. Once I see a decapitated head like that, but then again, the head is outside, so because I think one of them says the killer is outside. Why would we go outside? But either way, I think splitting up obviously is the wrong move. If even if I don't want to stay, if everyone else is staying, I'm going to stay, and I'm going to convince everyone else to stay.
I probably would have stayed because, first of all, the blizzard, it's like literally like Heather says, it's below 0 degrees out. I'd probably stay huddled in that room, get a fire poker. Again, homage to the OG. Get a couple fire pokers, get ready to fight, you know. Stay in that room together and hunker down. Don't try to like... you're not going to be able to drive anywhere, obviously, in the blizzard. You're going to get the car started and break down or something like halfway up the road. You're going to either freeze or get killed by the killer out there. I probably would have stayed, but I get why Miss Mac and Heather wanted to try to leave. But it doesn't work out for them, obviously.
No.
It does not work out for them. I love when they go to leave and they get in the car and Miss Mac hands her like the snow scraper. And Heather's like, what's that thing? and she gets out, Miss Mac, she's fucking stuck up, bitch. And she's like talking shit, scraping the car off. But this is a cool shot because we do get another eye scene when she scrapes the ice off the front. You see Billy's eye, and then all you see Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character's death. You just see blood splatter. I really like that. You don't really know what's going on in the car, but you just see the blood splatter. And then Miss Mac, she backs up into the house, and she gets a nice icicle to the head. I thought that was so cool.
That was so funny. Yeah, this is probably my favorite 2 kills. That Miss Mac kill. Yeah, I love it. So for the icicle kill is so funny. It's so great.
It is funny. It's and they're like trying to open the door, but her body's blocking it to get out. Yeah. They're like, oh, the car's still running. And then they turn the car off like, oh shit, they didn't make it. Yeah, it's so funny. And then I think after that, it's my girl Michelle Trachtenberg's death. Because she dies before Lauren, right?
Yep.
Because because she checks on Lauren sleeping. Because she's another one who wants to say, she's like, I'm not leaving Lauren. She's like passed out, drunk in bed. Like,
yeah.
Again, I would make Lauren stay downstairs with everybody, not sleep in her bed. I get it. She's hammered. But I think she dies first. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm getting the two
But her
confused,
death scene might be my favorite.
What's her death scene, Melissa? Yeah.
Melissa's death scene is when they're Lee and Kelly are downstairs trying to find out what happened with Mrs. Mac and Heather outside. She's upstairs, like, waiting with Lauren, like, chilling with Lauren because she's passed out in the bed, and she comes out in the hallway. You know, what's going on, guys? And then we know it's Agnes, I can tell. She puts the bag over her head, but then she escapes and she runs into the room and she tries to get through the window, but then Agnes comes in and takes the ice skates and throws them at her head, and the back of her head gets fucking like sliced off. That's a cool death scene. But again, I'm rooting for her. I'm like, girl, make it out. You can do it. You can do it. Again, if that chase scene went on like maybe 2 minutes longer, that would have been iconic. But she gets killed pretty quickly, but she still fights. But again, that's another death. Her and Dana's deaths I'm the most bummed about. I'm like, no, my girls, they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that death scene. It's my favorite.
No, that's a cool
and
death
then actually, Lauren's death scene is an homage to, oh my god, Margot Kidder's death scene in the OG in the bed with the unicorn thing. That's an homage to her death scene. Again, pretty cool death.
Yeah, and then you get her, and then we got our final three. We get it's all of a sudden it's down to
Because Kyle
Kelly,
comes back, yeah.
Kelly, Kyle, and Lee. And again, I don't love this final three, but that's what you got at this point.
Do you like Kelly?
I don't. Yeah, I thought she was a little misplaced. Like when she's first introduced, they have that dramatic like zoom in, and she like turns her head to like reveal herself. It's like very dramatic, like we're supposed to care about her. Like it's some like famous cameo or something in a sitcom. That's how they shot it. I always laugh at that
Katie
shot,
Cassidy so much.
Yeah, she's okay. I just wish she died, and they kind of threw us for a loop, and she. No, I'm saying Lee, not Kelly.
Oh, Lee. Okay, Lee.
Lee.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Lee.
Lee.
Yeah,
I
wish.
Okay.
I know they were kind of mimicking the original, so they wanted to keep her alive. I thought they could have killed her sooner, though, to really kind of fuck the formula up, and that way one of my other girls could have survived. But she's
you like
fine.
Kelly though, right?
Yes, Kelly. Yeah, I do like Kelly.
Yeah,
of course.
Kelly.
Yeah, I like Kelly. Yeah, I love Kelly.
Yeah, Katie Cassidy kills it.
Mm-hmm.
But I like when she gets the phone call and she can tell. Obviously, she's like, it's coming from in the attic. He's in the attic again. That's where everything takes place in the OG too. And then I do like that all three of them, like, well, obviously Lee wants to go up there because she's like, oh, Claire can be up there. But they're ready to go up there and fight. Like Kyle, even at that point, he's not. He says let's get out, but he kind of agrees, and he agrees to go first in the attic. I'll give him that. He agrees to be a man and like check it out first. So I'll give him that. That's the only good deed he does throughout the entire movie. And he gets killed so easily.
Oh, that's such a dumb plan. They had him go up into the attic, and they had Kelly hold the flashlight at the bottom of the steps. Like, it was stupid. Yeah, like, why isn't he holding the flashlight for himself? It was so dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love when they get up there.
They go after him, right?
Yeah, they do. Again, badasses.
Yeah. For sure. I think it's a pretty cool sequence up in the attic.
Oh, it's so with the Christmas tree, all the body part, like the head, it's so good.
Yeah,
so good. Poor Lee finally sees that her dead sister's up there rocking in the chair. I will say Lee and Kelly, they have good screams. They have really good screams in the movie. I like their screaming in that.
Oh sequence. Yeah, I never noticed. Lee has a pretty good scream.
Yeah, she does too. We know Kelly does because Katie Cassidy screams in every movie she's in. She's good, but Lee has a pretty good scream too. And I just love the part when Kelly's like, your brother's not here, we're not your family. And then she's like, no, my brother's not here, but my daddy's here. Agnes, that's like, that is iconic.
Yeah, that is funny.
Geez, I love that. I love that line. So when we finally meet that it is Agnes and Billy doing the killing, and Agnes, girl, she's a man. A man did play her, but she is like beastly. She is like ready to go. Yeah. She's huge. Yeah, I love the whole set. Like then they catch us on fire. I love that whole entire set piece up in the attic. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
I love how Lee falls like through the floor, and then Kelly gets stuck in the wall, and you have Agnes climbing up and Billy climbing down, so she's stuck in the middle. That's a suspenseful scene. That's one scene that's like tension filled. You're like, shit, she's like screwed. And then there's obviously a fire starting, and then Lee does help her break through the wall and get her out. So Lee's also, she's doing shit. She's helping her out. She's not just leaving after that. And I love as they're running out of the house after they set the house on fire and put like the lighter fluid down. When they're running out, they don't forget to like grab their jackets off the hook. I love that. So stupid. I love that scene so much. But yeah, I mean, it's a quick movie, Dan. That very quick movie. I think it's to its benefit though.
No, I agree. Yeah, I like the wall scene for sure. That's definitely intense. You know me, I have some claustrophobia, so I can't even imagine being in that situation. But yeah, no, I like Lee because she sticks around. Like you said, she helps Kelly to the very end. I just think it would have been more impactful if it was one of her sisters that was with her the whole time. That's
or maybe Lee and one sister instead of Lee and Kyle. Like maybe like have a little diversity with that instead of having Kyle.
Like a female trio. Yeah, Kyle. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's.
I mean, he's not around too long. They take him out quick, so it's
exactly.
Not like
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. But no, it's cool. So you kind of mentioned that you don't really love the hospital sequence. I
like it a lot. But
goes on a
pales
bit too long. I think it's a couple minutes too long. But other than that, I actually like it. I think it's pretty funny. It's pretty. I mean, it doesn't compare.
taking the bodies out and drinking his eggnog. Like, dude, that's so unsanitary. So unsanitary. It's nasty. He has a cool death scene, though.
Yeah, it just gives me, like, totally, like, Scream 4 vibes, you know? How it's just like, what are you,
in the
fucking
hospital?
Michael Myers, you know? Just that's all I hear in my head during that sequence, so.
I love when Kelly's in the room and the nurse is like, "Oh, this door is having issues." I'm like, "Girl, that's not good in a hospital. Have a door that can't open right away when you have a patient in there."
I know.
But I love you. They get that last moment, Lee and Kelly, when she opens her gift because she can't open it in front of her sister who's dead. It's cute. And then the watch or whatever, she gets this family forever, which again has a lot to do with Billy and Agnes. But I thought that I wanted a final girl duo, and I do get bummed. I know you feel a little different about Lee, but I do get bummed that she was killed like so easily once Kelly was taken out to get more tests done. I'm like, oh no, is she gonna be a goner right now? And yeah, sure enough, she's a goner.
Mm-hmm.
So I love when Agnes kills her though. She like has that creepy look and she's like, forever, and then she just snaps her neck. So creepy. But yeah, poor Lee. She almost made it, but she didn't.
Yeah. No, I don't mind it. I don't really care for Lee, and I think it's believable for our killers. Like they take no prisoners, so.
Oh yeah.
It's pedal to the metal from the very beginning to the very end, so I think it fits. So I don't mind it as much as you, I guess.
I think it's so funny how they figured out the hospital wall system too, because they're calling through those walls too to get to their rooms.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
So
they're
funny,
just
man.
experts in blueprints. Yeah.
But it's cool when Kelly comes back in the room. She like doesn't know what's going on, but she's smart. She hits the emergency button because she can't open the damn door. She's like looking for Lee, and the stupid carol. I hate Christmas carolers. I hate Christmas carolers, and the employees are not paying attention because people are singing in the front. Like that's like, oh, I can't stand Christmas carolers. I hate it. But it's cool because she does kill Agnes. And this is another Scream. I know Scream 4 actually came after this remake, but
yeah, it did.
She like gets her in the face. You know, it runs out. I say clear every time because that's what Sydney says to Jill before she kills her.
Yeah,
I love that scene when she gets her in the face. Pretty cool death scene for Agnes. But then Billy comes and chases her out. They have a little cool chase scene in the hallway. I'll say that. They're like he stabs her a couple times too.
Yeah, he does.
He kills a doctor. He kills an employee in the hallway too. He stabs him. She gets her Merry Christmas motherfucker in, which I love a good final girl line to say fuck you to the killer. I love it. And I love how he gets impaled on the Christmas tree, the giant Christmas tree, and his intestines come out. That's how he dies.
I like it. I like how definitive it is. You know, it's
yes.
You know, he's fucking dead. So I like a definitive ending for this. That don't make it open ended because it's Black Christmas.
Yeah,
let's wrap it up. No pun intended.
I agree.
But, yeah, no, I like. So where would you just obviously the hospital scene isn't as high on you for you as the house, but. Do you like the ending? Do you like?
No, yeah, I like it a lot. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't live up to the house stuff. That's all. It just doesn't live up to anything that happened before it.
Okay.
It doesn't end on as high as the middle.
But so you think it should have ended at the house? Is that like where you're
Not
standing?
Not even that. I just think that maybe it could have like. I honestly think maybe the hospital scene could have gone a little longer to make it a little more, maybe a little more of a chase with both of them before Lee got killed. It's something a little bit longer to make it somewhat as memorable as the stuff in the house. But other than that, I mean, it's a fine ending. It's fun. It's fun and quick. But, you know, maybe extend it a little bit. Give me a little more chase and a tiny bit of suspense. Yeah. Other than that, it's fun and over the top. I would have expected it to end any other way with his death. I wanted an over the top, you know, crazy death because the whole movie is like zany and wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that's it. That's Black Christmas 2006. That was fun to go over that for you. Yeah.
Love it. It's so fun, guys. I'm telling you, if you guys have not watched this one yet, it's fun. It is just fun. Bloody fun. Bloody Christmas fun.
Agreed. So let's get into our never split up moments. There's a few to choose from. This was just right up our alley in terms of over-the-top slashers. There's a lot of moments where characters are split up, literally, so we definitely have a few moments to choose from. You won the poll, so you get to go first.
Okay. I'm in between two because these are my girls, Melissa, Michelle Trachtenberg, and Dana, Lacey Chabert. Ugh, I don't know which one to go with though because they both could have done like obviously Dana like don't go towards that crawl space when you see someone's breath coming out. So like I would say Dana goes in that crawl space would be one, but also the one for Melissa when she's whacking Agnes to try to get away. She stops whacking her with the skis to get away. I want to just fucking keep whacking her. Beat that bitch. But I'm gonna go with Dana just because that's more of a classic like don't go in there one. And she goes in the crawl space. So I'm gonna go with Dana goes in the crawl space and she dies too soon because of it.
Okay. That's a good moment. I'm going to go with after they. I'm big on this. You know, I don't like to critique characters before they know what's going on. So I'm going to go with the group splitting up after they find the severed head.
Okay.
Yeah. Whose head was it again? It was
Eve.
Eve's head. So Heather and Mrs. Mack.
Miss Mac. Yeah.
Decide to leave. I'm going to go with those two. I think they all should have stayed as a group and they shouldn't have split up. I think that was just, like I said before, whatever option you pick, make sure that everyone is on the same page. Splitting up in that situation, especially breaking off into just a group of two in a fucking blizzard is just batshit crazy. I don't know why they didn't stay in the house. So I'm going to go with those two for not staying with the group. And like you said, they should have huddled up in a room together or something.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah, they both kind of split up. Both of our moments. Like Dana, I'm like, why are you going out there to break her by yourself, girl? And then you go in. They're both pretty dumb decisions these characters make.
Yeah, Dana was just trying to be a good sister, though. Get the power on.
Fuck that. Fuck that girl.
Yeah, I know.
And she's my girl. No, those are two good moments. I like them.
All right, cool. Let's get into our scores.
Oh, this is so hard to do a score. So fun. I love it.
Go ahead. Do you want to go first? You get to pick.
I'll go first. I think you went first for P2.
Okay.
So I'll go first here. We both were, I don't remember specifically, but we both were over a 9 for the original.
Yep.
I mean, that's a huge, I mean, that's a classic.
I think I was like a 9.4. I think
I was a 9.2. I can't remember for sure.
Yeah, I think we were both
around there
the same.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But again, guys, that one is the ultimate classic, and this movie's not trying to be that. It's just trying to take some of the story points from the OG and do its own campy thing. And again, that's why I love this one so much. I actually think I might find this one a little more rewatchable because of how fun it is. The original, obviously, I watch all the time as well, but it's more of that the first time you watch it, it gets under your skin so much. And every time I watch the original again, the ending shot gets under my skin, but the rest, it's like, I've seen it before, I appreciate it, but it doesn't get me as much as the first time. This one, it gets me every time because of how much of a blast it is. It has way better Christmas vibes. It is like the Christmas slasher movie to me. Like, this is the ultimate Christmas slasher movie. This is the top dog for me, as far as like Christmas vibes go and fun. It pales in comparison with obviously the creepiness, but again, it's going for more of the fun vibe than the creep factor. The phone calls are nowhere near as effective as the OG. The cast is fucking awesome. This is an all-timer slasher cast, in my opinion. They are bangers, all of them. I don't know, man. This is a blast, and I watch it every year. I can't go through Christmas Day without watching it. I'm giving it an 8.9 because it's a blast. I fucking love it. It's my favorite Christmas slasher movie besides the OG Black Christmas. It's my favorite Christmas horror movie besides the OG.
Okay, 8.9. That is a tremendous score. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
2000s dude right here. Come on.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on one of your points. I actually think the original Black Christmas is a bit more rewatchable for me. I do think this is a more fun take. It's a more fun slasher, and I usually defer to that when it comes to rewatchability. I just think the original, Bob Clark, it's such a masterpiece. Shades,
100%.
It's so good, and I love watching it every year. I do watch the original every year. I don't know if I make it a point to watch this one every year, even though it is fun. The original is just, it's so good, and it's so perfect. So I do disagree with you there, but all your other points still stand. The cast is amazing. It's just fun, cheesy, It's a good time. I do like the Christmas vibe to it, but again, it's not my go-to because the original is my go-to. This is a good score for me in terms of cheesy slasher early 2000s. I'm going to give it a 7.8.
Okay, that's high.
Yeah.
Now I have a question for you. That's a good score. I agree though. The original is like near perfect for me. It's literally all timer, like an iconic, such an important movie for the slasher genre. What grade would you give this movie if you weren't comparing it to the original? If you just watched it as a fun Christmas slasher, like, are you giving it a 7.8 because you're comparing it, which is a really good score, or are you just judging the movie on its own?
No, it's different enough to where I'm judging it on its own.
Okay. All right.
I made the
curious.
comparison just because you kind of said it was a little bit more rewatchable. That's the only reason I kind of brought up the original.
Okay.
I think it's different enough to where I would give it a 7.8, which is again a good score. Even
really
if
good
I
score.
wasn't comparing it for sure. Yeah.
Okay. You got to do the double feature, man, because I think it makes you appreciate both movies more, honestly.
Yeah. If anything, the fact that the original exists probably makes the score a little bit higher because it has such good material to work with and kind of take it into its own direction. So, I think it's a good remake. I think it's solid.
I think what we both said also to this movie's credit, it doesn't, and you said it about you compared like the Psycho, it doesn't try to do the same thing. It just takes hints of it and does its own thing. I think that's what really makes this movie kind of smart and fun because it's not trying to be the original and it knows it's never going to be the original, which a lot of remakes don't get that. Like, you can never be the original. And this one knows that going into it. So I think, again, kudos.
It's really funny seeing our scores because people listening to the podcast would almost expect our scores to be flipped because I'm more of the balls to the wall slasher guy, and you're more of the stalker slow burn guy. So the fact that they're flipped is pretty funny. I think that's going to surprise some people.
I think people are going to be like, oh, Ant's going to be like this, like, all stuck up, like, I want my slow burn, build up movie. I'm like, no, this is fucking fun.
Yeah. What's your quote? It's stupid fun. Stupid fun. You like to say that a lot. Like, it's stupid fun, 7.2, stupid fun, So, 8.9.
This one is
8.9.
Like, when you add the Christmas into it, it's like so much fun, man. But yeah, obviously I still rated the original higher because it's the OG and, that's a fucking class. I'll never forget the ending shot of the OG movie where this one, it's not as memorable, obviously. I get
never underestimate
the OG's original.
Never underestimate Anthony's nostalgia for early 2000s.
Yes,
late 90s. Yeah,
exactly. The core memory of this movie.
That's the takeaway for sure. Okay, great. That was a lot of fun. I had a good time. Definitely vote in our poll. We're gonna release this poll in the coming week, so check that out. Yes. Social media is Never Split Up Pod. Do you want to announce our next episode?
Yes.
We don't know with the holidays coming up and New Year. We're not sure if we're going to be able to fit this in before the New Year, but we are going to do our end of the year list, and this time it's going to be a little bit different. We're focusing on horror only. I know the first time around we wanted to give you guys kind of a taste of what we liked outside of horror, but we are a horror movie podcast, so we're going to be doing our top 10 favorite horror movies of 2023. So look out for that. It will probably be released sometime in January. So we probably
I was gonna say, guys, if not late, like the last week in December, then early January. Just be on. It's gonna be. We have a lot going on between you. We have a baby coming, and then Christmas is here, family stuff. So it's coming. To just be patient. It might not be before January 1st, but it'll be around either end of the year, beginning of the new year. And again, that gives us time to really get our lists in order because. If you guys have been listening to this podcast, I'm a freak with ranking stuff, so I need some time anyway. But I think that P2 and Black Christmas are two good Christmas movies to end out the year.
For sure, definitely. Again, follow us on social media at Never Split a Pod. Please subscribe to our YouTube if you watch on YouTube. That definitely helps. Give us reviews. Give us comments. What is your favorite Christmas movie to watch? I'm going to be doing in the meantime, I'm going to be trying to do some re-uploads onto YouTube if you watch us on YouTube. So check out the original Black Christmas episode we did last year. We also did Krampus, which was a favorite of ours as well. I try to watch Krampus every year. That's my go-to as well. That's a must, yeah. But that's about it. Until next time, guys, Merry Christmas. And if we don't talk to you, Happy New Year as well. And we'll see you later. Bye.